Hi, good people. Lovely to see you yet again. I had promised to make a video specifically speaking into red flags concerning domestic violence or gender based violence, or just really watching out for a guy who will likely become violent. Now, I've had some experience counseling people who have experienced domestic violence, and I've noticed a pattern. One of the stories that I'll share is about a lady who, during the lockdown, came to our home and she was coughing blood. She had a white hanky, she was coughing blood. I'm narrowing down that story also to protect the person's identity. And we rushed her to hospital. As we were going to the hospital, she said to us, he wanted to kill me. Now, we were rushing her to hospital with our masks on. Of course, we thought it had something to do with, a respiratory thing. But we found out that this person's partner had attacked her. We waited in the hospital. We called the parents. I called a friend who works, in the criminal department, etc. And she told me, actually, the lady will have to report the case herself. Where domestic violence or gender-based violence is concerned, the person has to be the one to report. Because I could be reporting for, maybe I'm biased against the guy, I don't like the guy. So the victim has to report. But the lady was not willing to report. Anyway, we were happy that we had got her to safety. I worked with the hospital to make sure that they keep her there until her parents come, and I told them what the matter was so that they could not allow the partner to get to her. And she went on home, and it seemed everything was going to be okay. During the time in the hospital, she shared her story with me, but this wasn't the first time I was hearing such a story. So I would like to give you red flags, signs. This may be important for you, as getting into the whole relationship scene, but it could also be for a friend. You've been concerned, but you're like, am I being too much? Maybe it's not true. Your instinct has been telling you, I think that guy might be beating my friend, but I'm not sure. And so I want you to be of help to your friend, to this person. So one of the things that I've observed in all the different cases is that the gentleman, apologies gentlemen, this one is really for from a girl's perspective, because I've only dealt with girls in this particular instance. So one of the things you'll notice is that the person will come into this girl's life, and the first thing he will do is isolate her. He's going to create a scenario whereby he is this girl's world. He gives her everything. You remember when we talked about a guy who doesn't want you to work, doesn't want you to advance in school? Red flags. Red flags. These people are usually very insecure, and they do not want to see a lady getting ahead. So a person who's talking you down about school, a person who's talking you down about, pursuing a specific career, red flag. The idea is the person will compliment you so much. They will not be talking you down. They will compliment you until you're feeding off of these compliments. It's like they have, replaced God in affirming you. They are going to compliment you and make you feel like ridiculous compliments. Then they are going to spend on you ridiculous amounts. It's like they don't want you to spend on anything. No, I'll take care of that. All this is part of the isolation. They're trying to become your world, your source of finances, your source of affirmation, as in your breathing, talking, this guy. And then the other thing I've observed is that they're going to be overprotective. Okay? So you're going to end up depending on them so much. You can't go anywhere by yourself. Oh, you're going there, let me drive you. Oh, you're going there, let me take you. No, it's okay, I'll wait for you in the parking. Excuse me, do you have a life apart from this? No, seriously, I know that for most ladies, it makes it seem like, oh my God, he's Prince Charming. But if all the other flags I want to talk about, if it's by itself, my person is just really nice, he drops me off, he's kind, he's also doing other things with his life. But if it's like, if I'm somewhere, I have to report myself, and if I didn't report that I was going to be somewhere, he gets angry. Not obviously angry, it just seems like he just feels concerned for me. Oh, what? So I've said this whole thing is an isolation thing. He's isolating you, and then he's making you completely dependent on him. You'll notice that he'll start making comments about your friends and about your family. Not the kind of comments that make you feel like, why are you dissing my family? But the comments that cause you to think, these guys, Tebanja Galis, and they don't want me to be with my person. Why is your sister X and X and X? How come you're always with those girls? I don't think those girls are good for you. Remember, this is not going to come from the beginning. From the first time, like, he will even be the kind of guy who takes you out with your friends. You understand? And pays for everything. He'll be the kind of guy who, I don't know, shows up and saves the day. And then as soon as he wins your confidence, as soon as you're like, oh, George is amazing, he will start making small comments, and this will be at a time when you trust his opinion more than anyone else's opinion. So that friend you've been with for 5 years, you won't show up for them anymore because you're with George, or because George said it's not a good day to go out, it's even late, you shouldn't go for that thing, you're even tired, you've been working too hard. George, you don't attend family events anymore, your family hardly sees you. Now that's the biggest red flag. Someone who is not going to help you. Sometimes someone will find you when you're already not too close to your family. Maybe you're having issues. You need to read the book, Principles and Practices of Honor. But if a person you're starting to date starts pulling you away from your family or encouraging you to isolate yourself from your family, red flag, run. So, isolation, overdependence. So this person has become your world. You've hardly heard from your friends. You're hardly showing up for your family. I've found that what some other guys do is that you'll do so many nice things for your family. This is also a form of isolating. And then he'll become the family favorite. And then as he's abusing you, you actually have no one who you think will believe you. They'll be like, you're the one who's that nice guy. He's so sweet and calm. There is also that kind of person who no one in your family is going to be like, they expect such a thing from him. Because he's so nice, he's so calm, he's so generous. He always shows up for events to monitor you. You're the one with a temper. You're the one who's bad-mannered. You're the one who is stingy. But since he came into your life, he's taking care of everyone. He's doing nice things. So whenever he speaks, everyone believes him over you. It's your problem. You're the one who triggered him. You're the one who's making him get angry. Such a nice person. It would take someone so mean to cause him to even hurt a fly. And in this case, you're the mean person. And then the violence starts. And it will not start with physical violence. It will start with emotional abuse. He will start making comments about how you look. Remember, this person is your world now, right? So if your world, if your new God is now saying that you actually don't measure up, you're actually not enough, he'll comment on things that are important to you. If you're a singer, he'll comment on how you sing, he didn't like it. He won't use those words, but you know what I mean. He'll comment on how you look, he'll comment on your clothes, and all these comments will be derogatory, right? They'll be making you feel less than, and all you'll want to do is to please this person and be special to this person. He'll make you now want him and sort of be, now he's doing that thing of withdrawal. You're suffering from withdrawal symptoms of the affirmation and of all those things. Then you'll have to be asking him for money to do things, because now you don't work, you've been depending on his money. Why don't you leave that job? Even that boss about what? They don't value you, but now you don't have a job. So all the money comes from him. Now, that's when the trouble starts. Especially for people who end up marrying this sort of person. I know that it can be very complicated, because who are you going to talk to? You don't have friends. Who are you going to talk to? You're isolated from your family. When the emotional abuse starts, I've realized that the objective of the emotional abuse is to cause you to feel like you deserve the physical abuse which is about to come. Now, people think that the guy will just show up and beat you up, and then, I don't know, you end up in hospital. No, it will be a slap. One day you'll say something and he'll respond with a slap. Or he'll throw a bottle at the wall, not at you. But once it starts, I want you to know it has started. Do not try to apologize for this person. Do not try to come up with an excuse for this person. It's not okay. It is not okay. And you do not deserve it. Now, unfortunately, by the time that I have interacted with these people, they have already passed through the stage of being given some sort of inferiority complex or looking down on myself kind of thing. So they feel like they actually cannot operate with this person. And I know that how most people want to respond is, just leave, or don't allow him to do that to you. But remember, the person you're talking to is not the same person who entered that relationship. Maybe she was a strong woman. Maybe she could speak back. Maybe she could fight for herself. That's not the kind of state. If you're a friend, I want you to know that the reason the person is not leaving the relationship is actually she is dependent on this person. It's like taking off their life supply. I'll go back to my first story. So I've talked to this lady. She has told me, no, we've actually ever gone for counseling. It seemed he had improved. I've talked to his sister. So the good thing is that this lady had, the partner had a sister who noticed these things. She was born again and talked to this lady. And it seemed like the guy had changed. But he hadn't changed. And I want you to know that the reason the person hasn't yet changed is that most of the time you're trying to fix the victim, the lady. You're trying to cause her to see, oh, just get out, oh, what? But what about the gentleman? The reason that he's hitting, the reason that he's shouting and yelling and saying all those mean things is because he has a problem. He has his insecurities. He has things he hasn't dealt with. He has anger issues that he needs to deal with. He also needs emotional healing. I think I always prefer that you cancel the two people together. Some people will have the level of humility whereby they can listen to a counselor and they also know, oh gosh, I don't like what I'm doing. I don't know why I get these, anger bursts and stuff, and I want to receive the help of God, because ultimately it's only God who can help. And so they would be willing to walk that journey. But then at some points, in some scenarios, the person is not at a stage where they want help. Is not at a stage where they'll admit they have an issue. And so in that case, you have to protect the girl. You have to get the girl out of that case, out of that situation, because all this could lead to being maimed, could lead to death, could lead to the violence being passed on to minors, And I want you to know that I am not minimizing your situation. I'm not making it seem like with this 15-minute clip, it's going to, save you from that situation. What I would advise is that at least talk to one person. At least talk to one person you trust. Someone who fears the Lord, someone who has your best interests at heart and the best interests of the other person as well, especially if you're married. If you're not yet married, I want you to know you can get out of that thing. You do not have to be in that relationship. Your life does not depend on this person. You are still able to get out. If you're not yet, committed, this person is not your fiance, you're just seeing a guy and he has started behaving in this way. Never allow to let go of your dreams because someone who is courting you has said, don't pursue that. You always have to be growing yourself. We talked about that when we were talking about growing together in the Dating Well series. The other thing is never allow to be isolated from your friends and family because someone you just met has made this comment and that comment about them. You have loved these people for a while, you have trusted them for a while, they have loved you and they have trusted you. Anyone who tries to pull you away from your family, that one, I want you to just always remember this, is a red flag. Even if your family is some way, the person who loves you will try to ensure that you're reunited and there is reconciliation with that family. That's what I've found. That people who love you will always try to make sure that there is a restoration of the relationships which are important to you, which God placed you. If you have a friend and you're observing that your friend is in such a relationship or is being pulled into such a relationship, share this clip with them. If you feel like I can't talk about this, just random share it, just drop it there and be like, look at this, If you know and your friend also knows that you know, talk to them, tell them, you know what, you need to get out of this before it gets complicated. Or tell them, can you at least see like a counselor, like someone they can listen to, a pastor, something like that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I feel like whatever thing tries to replace your devotion and affection and dependence on God, whatever thing tries to do that is going to end up bringing destruction into your life. And I feel like this thing usually comes from, it's like turning to this person for your salvation. Not salvation in terms of salvation from sin, but salvation from anything. Maybe you came from what you would call a bad family background, whatever that means to you, and you're like, oh gosh, I just can't wait. Like, let a man love me and just rescue me from this situation. Or a financial thing, and you're like, he has come, he's saving the day. Maybe he'll even start with paying for a course for you, but what he likes, not what you like. The person is trying to control your life, but it feels like protection. It feels like he's going to take care of me. He's going to. So I want you to know that whenever you have like your own wounds or a desire to escape and you turn to a human being for that, it's going to bite you in the butt. Yes. So what you want to do is to turn to God for that. Turn to God for healing. Turn to God for being made whole. Turn to God for completeness. He only is able to do that. Whenever you turn to a man, there is going to be manipulation. There is going to be control. And for some of you, it won't even get to, physical abuse. But the emotional turmoil, it's like the person is using you emotionally, manipulating you, always making you feel like you have to pay and earn this love and affection. You're always apologizing for their mistakes, and it's not healthy. It really isn't, and God does not want you to be in such a thing. That is not God's idea for a relationship. This is why you see that the groom is a picture of Christ. The bride is a picture of a church, and it's supposed to be a good, loving relationship where the groom is washing you with words, not beating you with words. So, ladies, gentlemen, brothers, sisters, this is a real thing, and I thought I should add this bonus to our series on relationships, on dating for marriage, and just include this particular thing. If the people you trust are telling you, watch out for this person, listen to them, get an objective person. If you're in a good church, there's a shepherd, talk to the shepherd. They're willing to listen to you. You need an objective person. This is why we emphasize the matter of, before you start dating, as soon as a guy asks you out, tell someone else. Tell someone whose opinion you trust, okay? Not just your peers, someone who is sort of like an overseer over you, someone who's watching over you and has your best interests at heart, okay? Not just like your peers who may be biased and just be like, oh, wow, he's so cute. Oh, he's so rich. Oh, he has such a good accent. Not those ones, yeah? Someone objective. And then the other thing we said, if you are a guy and you see a girl and you like her, still talk to your shepherd, because your shepherd might ask you, But have you dealt with the other matter, the other car addiction you are dealing with? Do you want to enter a relationship with all that baggage? Shouldn't we work on that first? Shouldn't you first be, maybe your shepherd has noticed that your relationship with God is some way, and they want to help you through that. Let me tell you guys, do not get into a relationship to get healing, like a human relationship. Do not get into a relationship to deal with your past. Do not get into a relationship to feel complete. Do not get into a relationship to feel loved. You can only get these things from a relationship with God. And if you're already there and you're two broken people and you're watching this and you're dealing with this, I want you to know you are loved. And you are never too far. You are never too far gone. You are never too far out of reach for God to help you, for God to heal you. That is what He wants to do. So talk to someone you trust, or you can even text WhatsApp us at Worship Harvest. Okay, there's a Worship Harvest number. You can text or WhatsApp it, 0775642449. If you want someone to pray with you, if you want someone to direct you to a Worship Harvest pastor near you to connect you with a professional counselor you can talk to. Yeah, okay, you're being loved. I just really had to talk about this. I hope it has been helpful. It's been really, really short. If you have more questions or you want to talk in detail concerning something, remember you can always email me at roxana.aliba@gmail.com. You are being loved. You are never alone. Bye-bye. Happy June.